is a land in northern Portugal that faces the Atlantic and has a history of many centuries. A land of discoveries that has finally been discovered. Peaceful and friendly. Developed and dynamic. A land that welcomes visitors like no other. A land where the beaches stretch out through endless nature. And clear days are followed by bright, shining nights. A land where tradition is the source of modernity and where there is a bit of culture everywhere. Located close to 2 airports and just a short distance from major district capitals, Esposende is at the center of attention and very close to you. Esposende. To know it is a privilege. Esposende is a land of sea, 18 kilometers of coastline and inland an intense green terrain. But there are rivers also. The Naiva and the Cavado add a riverside atmosphere to Esposende. Here, free time is a time for sunning and swimming at beaches with limpid waters. It is recreation and leisure in complete safety. Far from the urban hustle and bustle, Esposende combines rest with emotion. One after the other, the beaches are a long chain of sandy dunes with protected ecosystems. The fluttering blue flags are a sign of guaranteed quality of time well spent. The seafront gives the entire area a picturesque quality, revealing its origins as a fishing centre. The sandy beaches are frequently used as venues for tournaments of football, handball, volleyball and rugby. The current of limpid waters of the Naiva River mark the northern boundary of the territory. To the south, the river Cavado divides the whole region, spreading into an estuary that is a genuine environmental refuge. The bars and esplanades are excellent. Enjoy the sun, have a drink or ride a bicycle along the coastal road. Relax. Esposende's history goes back a long way. It covers millennia and has left deep marks on the constructed heritage. We have to go back to the megalithic period to find its origins. But it was only during the reign of Don Sebastião in 1572 that Esposende was guaranteed the status of village. Its stones are unique witnesses to the passing of time. Its monuments outline its profile and tell its history. Menhirs and dolmens document the presence of the first ancestors. They hold 5,000-year-old memories. On the tops of the mountains, pre-Roman castles mark positions that were unassailable in olden times. The lighthouse cuts an impressive swathe across the landscape. Where river and sea meet stands the fort of St. John the Baptist, which dates back to the 1600s. The main church is a monument from the 16th century and a point of reference for the city, recalling the times of its founding. The Casa do Arco houses the municipal library, which preserves all the collection of the documents of the municipality. The Church of Misericordia, classified as a building of public interest, contains within its walls the Seafarers' Chapel, the Capella do Senhor dos Marientes. In Esposende, this city of monumental beauty, one lives history. Esposende is striking and captures the eye at once. Nature beckons you to get involved, to actively participate. The possibilities are infinite, the itineraries innumerable. It is imperative to set out for the physical pleasure of discovery, for the adventure of the senses. Nature is the real guide. She opens new paths through mountains and plateaus, revealing her complete self. Sometimes the strides along, with a network of more than 100 kilometers of walks. Esposende is a permanent incentive to practice sports. Off-road fans follow the trails, avoiding rocks, overcoming obstacles. At a canter or a trot, the equestrian sport is also an outing. A dive into calmer waters refreshes the body and prepares it for the challenge of the wave pool. Come aboard and the voyage begins, a pleasurable trip along the Cavado River. The meetings of traditional boats are always spectacular. Pass through enormous patches of green. From hole to hole, reaching the end is a rewarding prize. Watch the birds in their natural habitat and understand something of the intimate relationship that exists between fauna and flora. Heroes of the sea and these rivers are the ones who engage in radical sports. The board breaks the wave in perfect balance. The mastery of the kite defines the skill of the participant. There is no limit to the navigation. Sails to the wind, boats cut across the sea. Adrenaline is at its highest, more radical than ever. Canoes rapidly descend the Neiva River. They follow the waves of the river in acrobatic maneuvers. We dive to the bottom of the sea. Our exploration is now underwater in a dazzling setting. The sea at first is a breeze and salt air, but then reveals itself in a profusion of aromas and flavors. With it come fish and shellfish, brought by those who know these waters most intimately. Fauna so unusual and abundant could only be prepared by experienced and inspired hands. Master chefs, absolute lords of their art. The fish and shellfish are highly reputed. Events that are always well attended are organized around them. Even in the land of the sea, meat dishes abound, suggesting other flavors of menu. Excellent side dishes are prepared using the horticultural products cultivated on the local farms. This produce is among the most appreciated in the country. The wines are green, smooth and aromatic. They come from the vineyards of the region and are magnificent. Finally, dessert. Cheese such as Queso das Marinas, Clarinas de Fau, Cavacas, or some delicate puff pastries. Esposende is proud of its very rich past, its ancient knowledge, its centuries-old traditions. And it takes pride in actively perpetuating them. It takes to the streets and shares them with those who visit, in festivals and pilgrimages, in fairs and historical reenactments. Perhaps because the best of the future is constructed on the basis of values of the past. The chapel of Nossa Senhora da Saúde is where all the pilgrims gather together. The procession is the high point of the religious festival, bringing together the local people and the many visitors who come to show their devotion. Centuries-old gestures are repeated, as if we had returned to the past. The stone is sculpted by masterful hands, taking on a life of its own. The reeds are bent over and over, resulting in precision handiwork. Thousands of pilgrims follow the characteristic yellow arrows, pointing the way to their destination, Santiago de Compostela, where they renew their energy for the rest of the journey. At the hilltop castle of San Lorenzo, people wear the clothes in the style 2,000 years ago, recreating habits and customs of the ancient populations of the castles. It's Gallico-Folia, an event that attracts multitudes. More than a historical recreation, the medieval fair is a new way of giving life to the streets, involving the entire city during the summer season. Esposende has its own vibrations. A youthful enthusiasm that encourages socializing, culture and friendship. Hot days are followed by hot nights. The inspiration of the spirit and mind is followed by the release of the body. There is no way not to join in. Music comes to the stage in successive seasons, attracting Portuguese and foreign musicians. Concerts bring people closer together and give life to the local culture. At the performances of the children's choir of Esposende, the voices of the future ring out. Dance academies abound, with style for every taste. The theatre appears on the scene and even goes into the streets with spectacular performances. The spontaneous support of the public mobilizes the entire city. The sounds of summer attract thousands of visitors to Esposende in a genuine festival of Portuguese music. But the rich folklore of the Minho is also present, enlivening the atmosphere of festivals and pilgrimages. Invariably, the intensity of the days extends far into the night. After dinner in the local typical restaurants, the program continues into the lively city nightlife. A contagious energy permeates these places of worship for the young and the not-so-young. Bars and discotheques open their doors to enthusiasm and extroversion. The music goes on until daybreak. Dynamic, enterprising and innovative, the municipality of Esposende invests in its installations as a way of bringing persons closer to one another. This is evidenced by the schools and the cultural and sports facilities, hotels and rural tourism units that energize the region and attract quality tourism. The municipality's collections of archaeology, ethnography and art are well known. The Municipal Museum plays a major role in the preservation of the municipality's heritage. A space of culture and leisure, the Municipal Library is particularly well stocked. Its services also include music and cinema. In the auditorium, the programs of music, dance and theatre attract a broad spectrum of the public with different tastes. The network of museums of the sea is becoming more and more a centre of attraction for tourists. The coastal heritage is the distinctive mark, the identifying feature of the municipality.
Innovative and displaying a contemporary architecture, the swimming pools of Forge do Cavado encourage the practice of the sport. The Centre for Environmental Education includes a permanent interactive exhibition and is above all a space for raising awareness. Its educational and recreational proposals are an invitation to discovery and learning. Connected to the Castle of San Lorenzo, the Interpretive Centre promotes this ancestral site, which has a strong touristic component. Transformed into a house museum, the Casa das Marinhas is a truly unique architectural project. Designed by architect Viana de Lima, the Sola dos Tempos Modernos is classified as a property of public interest. The Tourist Information Centre has an interactive shop of the latest generation and is a fundamental support for the promotion of the whole region. Sea and river, sun and beach, history and culture, sports and leisure. Everything wrapped up in one word. Esposende. Visit us and feel privileged.